Hello, welcome back to the Weekly Comment. I'm Tamara and we are happy to have Jonathan back in the house.
Yes, I am Jonathan McHugh, and I sadly missed you last week. But I watched you on the internet.
And the interwebs?
Yeah,
did you see me on the interwebs?
You did good by yourself, kid. I was a little worried you would, do it without someone to talk to, but
I just talk to myself.
you did good. You're good like that.
Thank you.
When you go home at night, do you speak in the mirror?
I speak to myself. No, I don't even look in the mirror. I just walk around the house talking to myself.
Got it. You got to watch the neighbors might call you in on that one. It's a little dangerous.
We have an action-packed show for you today. Composer Dave Porter of hit TV show Breaking Bad is here.
I like that show. That's a crazy
amazing show.
And Neil Schield from the Origami Vinyl, the coolest record store in LA, one of those East Side kind of dudes. He'll be here to talk about new music and trends and why vinyl is back and better than ever.
It's back. Also, of course, KCRW DJ Jason Kramer will be here with his pick of the week. This time it's Los Angeles sextet Races, who were signed to one of my favorite record labels, French Kiss. And now, here's Long Beach indie pop artist Avi Buffalo.
Let's do it, Avi.
He's going to play How Come. Over to you.
You used to say it was a big turn for the stem. How come? Find an escape road in the fire. If I'd run, let us wait on a campfire just to or staying mad at me for so long. Still I stay alive, watching all the happy people pass by. Then I turn around, seeing how you and him turned out. Gets me down. You used to say it was a big turn for the stem. How come? Find an escape road in the fire. If I'd run, let us wait on a campfire just to how come? Or staying mad at me for so long. Oh yes, till I stay alive, watching all the happy people pass by. Then I turn around, seeing how you and him turned out. Gets me down. Na, 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 na. Gets me down.
Same one.
Well, as you all know, every week someone dies. And in this week's Death Watch, sadly, Ronnie Montrose, a veteran rock guitarist with a long history of notable session performances, and of course he was in the band Montrose, He passed away and he was 64. So he now joins Whitney Houston and Davy Jones.
Wait, when did Whitney Houston die?
Like a couple weeks ago.
You're kidding me. I missed that memo. Just
Oh,
kidding.
oh.
Just kidding.
Oh,
Speaking
funny.
of kidding, fun.
Funny.
Fun.
Fun.
See how you did that? Fun. They got a smash hit. My daughter's singing that song about being high as the Empire State.
That's a little weird.
I know, it's
Does
crazy.
she know what that means?
Not yet, luckily.
Not yet. In the back.
Hope she's not watching this. Anyway, Fun is told the #1 spot from Katy Perry on the Ultimate chart. Meanwhile, B.O.B.'s So Good.
So Good.
Debuts at #4, and The Wanted's Glad You Came. It's another one of them their boy bands.
Boy
Wanted.
bands.
Jumps up 23 spots to #7. And Chris Brown, people always talking some smack about Chris.
Yeah.
His track Turn It Up cracks the number 10 spot, number 10. Cracks
the
up.
number 10.
Cracks up.
Cut.
Yeah, cracks top 10 with the number 3 song. And now we got Jason Kramer,
Well, now we have our pick of the week.
which Jason Kramer will tell us.
With
is
Jason
it
Kramer,
British or
and
not
it's-
British?
Not British.
Uh-oh.
They're from Los Angeles. Their name is Races. And check out this video for Big Broom. Ooh, super cool.
Another tasty track from JK.
And Jason actually just told us that he was the first to play Fun, and now he's been the first to play.
I hate when you
one
do
of the
that.
first.
No, it's not about being the first. It's about being part of the
Let me
people.
give you props.
I understand.
I'm allowed
but,
to give you props.
No, I got it.
You're not doing it yourself. I'm doing it.
Thank you. Fine.
And he's also playing Races. So
Yes.
tell me about the band.
That is Races. They're from Los Angeles. Wade, who's the lead singer, actually started off as a classical, kind of a composer, and this is his first time ever being on the vocals, and he's just blown people away. Featured in Rolling Stone, Pace Magazine. They did the new song Lies. And they also they're actually on the road right now in Texas. They've been going back and forth just on the road constantly.
Are they doing South by?
I believe they are, yeah. And they were just
Jason
signed.
doesn't go to South by.
No, I don't.
No, but I do. I know, but he tells me who to go see, and I go see it. That's the way it
So
works.
they just got signed to French Kiss Records, and the new album comes out on March 27th. And I believe around that time, they're going to have a show at the Echoplex.
Well, French Kiss is out of New York, right?
Right.
I love that label.
Who else is on the label?
Who else is on
Yeah.
the label? Oh, this is where you throw the hardballs.
Sorry, dude, I'm here, man. You know,
Okay, and if
people
I
wanna
get
know.
it wrong,
The buzzer goes
okay,
off.
all right.
No, why do you do that?
It doesn't
I'm
matter because
inquisitive.
at least I know the guest names, so it
My
doesn't
grandfather.
matter.
Yeah, hello.
My grandfather called me the boy reporter when I was a kid.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
I'm sorry if they put a C in the guy's name. My bad. My bad. Anyway, so Jay, any good shows coming up in town you're excited about seeing anytime soon?
Yeah, Monsters and Men that comes up
Oh, I
as
like
we
that
talked
record.
about.
Which you're
Love
taking
that
me
record.
Yeah, as well. Howlers we featured on the show here.
Yes, we
They're
did.
mid-March, like the 23rd or so. Apprat's going to be Monday night at El Rey Theater. I'm trying to think of
Where
a
I
few
was
others.
last night. Good venue. I love that venue.
Last night, I actually saw Flogging Molly.
Oh, wow.
Packed house, Sea of Green.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Where was it? Where they play?
House of Blues. They're doing the House of Blues tour. So in every city, they're pretty much opening at every House of Blues there, and different opening bands for that.
And
You
that
know, it's
band.
also going to be on tour as Garbage.
Oh, they come back out.
They are reunited.
Butch Vig, welcome back,
and
buddy.
they have releasing a new album.
What's it called? I'm being him.
Ah, that's funny.
Yes.
Check the comment.
All right, so from now on, I'll go
and you'll know what it's
softball
called.
questions.
You'll
How
go
about that? I'll go
softball.
softball.
Or why don't
play-
you start asking him
Because
more
I don't use a
questions?
teleprompter either, so
Oh!
that's
Shazam!
you know. Okay.
Ba-ching, ba-ching. You use your note
This
cards.
is all in my head.
I know, the note cards.
You see no
Show
note
the
cards
note
here.
cards.
There's
Come
no
on.
there's no
Give me
Palin
that
ass thing
your
here.
sleeve. Show it to
Nothing
them.
here.
I need to get
Nothing.
both you guys drunk.
All right.
Before
We can't
you
drink
come
during
on
the day.
show.
We just can't
What do you
do it
mean?
during the
Jason
day.
had beers last week.
Seriously?
Neil
spilled
had
it all
beers
over her.
today. Yeah, he spilled beer on me.
Oh
You
my
missed it,
God!
man.
See what happens when Dad's
I know.
away? The
I know.
kids will play.
I know.
Boys, speaking of Neil, he's a really good friend of Jason's, and he's coming on next. But first, we're going to get a little background on Neil, so roll it.
Daily I remember life before the war. No awkward invitations.
My name is Neil Schield, and I own Origami Vinyl in Echo Park. I've always been a big fan of vinyl. Main reason being is I've always kind of gravitated towards this physical, tangible product. Interacting with it, putting the needle on, having to flip the record. It really forces you to listen to the music. It's a great piece of artwork that you can, really get into, read the liner notes, read the thank yous. Just becomes this overall enrichment of an overall enriching experience. A vinyl record shop like this is very boutique, it's very niche, we're curated. We tend to try to introduce people to new music, to underground music. There's this personal touch that happens with it that I think has been lost on people for the last 10 years. And sadly we've seen a lot of record shops close in the early 2000s, but now you're starting to see this resurgence again.
Innocence and laughter will fill our hearts again. I'll see you in another life. You don't walk this way anymore. I'll see you in another life. I'll pretend.
Wait, we didn't get to the whole credits here.
You
That was
know,
funny.
come on. Like, how much more credit do you
That
need,
was
Jason?
fun. No, again, that was funny. That was funny.
Because
Okay,
he was starring as himself?
I'll post some.
No, it's just, it's just funny.
Neil, so happy to have you here again. Origami Vinyl, coolest record store in LA. And he does in-stores with artists. He's a big champion of artists. He also has a record label and just released No, which I want you to tell us about. So,
Cool. Well, before we get started, we high five everyone that comes in the shop. So we
excellent.
High
like
five.
that.
High fives.
To get this
So
going.
that's the personal
High
touch
fives.
right there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Because
what
you
we
don't
do.
get that in Walmart. That doesn't
Or
happen.
on iTunes. iTunes
Or
will
on
not give you a
hi-
high five.
Apple never high fives me.
No,
You know, not even when I buy something do I even get a little yay.
Yeah.
Nothing.
nothing.
So thank you for the high fives.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So tell me about why you decided to do a label in addition to being a retailer.
Actually, I started the label first, and I
Interesting.
was working in the music industry for quite some time on the digital side of the business. And so I started a little digital online label and, just helping friends out put their music. And then I got laid off from that job, and I was kind of soul
Record business,
searching.
that stuff happens, doesn't it?
It happens
Laid
a
off in
lot.
the record business?
I know,
Does happen.
And so I was kind of doing this soul searching of what I wanted to do, and I had this little yard sale and sold a lot of records that my parents had given me that I didn't want, like a Fleetwood Mac Live record or a Dave Mason record. Things that I'm not going to listen
How can you
to.
sell Fleetwood Mac Live?
Oh no, I
kept
have
Fleetwood
Fleetwood
Mac,
Mac,
see?
the
I
other
got it.
stuff,
The
but
live.
the live record,
Really?
not really
feeling
into
it.
it. So anyway, but
a studio band, by
it
the
was
way,
records
just
I didn't want.
thanks,
I had a
thanks,
huge
thanks.
collection, and I didn't really care about some of these other ones, so I just sold them for like, I don't know, 25 cents a pop. And in 3 hours, I had blown through like 40 records, and I was
Wow.
like, wait a minute,
People are
and
buying vinyl again.
People are buying records, and they're interested in the records that I don't want. What if I put records out that people wanted?
Right.
And so, being a resident of Echo Park for 10 years, I had a lot of friends, and one of my friends who just bought the building that we put Origami in had a beer with me, and he's like, "What are you up to?" And I was like, "I'm throwing around this stupid idea about opening up a record store." And he's like, "No way. Come on over here. Let's go
Wow.
take a look at this spot." So I was kind of thrown into it. It was kind of so much serendipity happened. I had to say yes to the calling, and 9 months later, I had a record store.
How long ago was this you opened?
We opened on April 3rd, 2009. I had gotten laid off almost exactly a year before that. So it took about a good 9-10 months to really flesh out the idea.
Which is actually pretty quick.
It was quick.
Yeah, I mean,
it was
that's
quick.
that's fast to
It was,
really
but
go.
I didn't have a job.
Right.
So, I
you
could
could
just
focus, right?
I could put all my time into
What's
it.
interesting is you went from digital to physical
Right.
in a way.
In a way, yeah. As a person, though, I mean, as what I listened to, it was always records when I
Right.
could get my hands on it. I've been in the music community since the early '90s as a music consumer, and I was going to punk shows and hardcore shows and those kinds of things. So my 7-inch collection, just got beefed up, and that's what I always enjoyed. I always enjoyed holding a record, putting the needle on the record, and reading about the band and reading the thank yous and this band linked to this band, so I should check this band. And that was my
Right.
discovery. It was the way I got into it. And then if I didn't know something, I would go into the record store. My record store was Rhino Records in Claremont, or Bionic in
yes.
Fullerton. So those were my two stores, and I would go in there and talk to them about XYZ band, and they would, you got to listen to this band. And pre-internet, that was really how we got hooked on new stuff. So it's cool to bring that back now.
So what do you think has driven people back to vinyl? What do you think
I think it's quite a few things, and you can't really just put your finger on one thing. But a lot of it's the experience. One night you might just want a mellow night and have a glass of wine, and another night you might want to go out and get a shot. And I think records are kind of a similar way.
Right.
You go out and you listen to your iPod or whatever, it's convenient, or you might even put on the radio or something like that. But when you come home, there's nights when you just want to experience music and an album and putting on the record and sit down with it and hold something that's physical and tangible.
I miss the experience.
Well, you
And
also,
it's different. It's got its own place. It's not like the 70s where that's how you had to listen to
Right.
music.
Right.
Now it's an experience. It's complementary, I feel, to the other ways that you can listen to
Well, we
music.
talked about Record Store Day earlier, and I want to talk to you about that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I find really interesting in the vinyl world is that it has become collector, and it's become limited edition, and it's become something that's coveted.
Yes.
Where it's obviously always about the music, but it's also about owning something special.
Special, yes. It's interesting with Record Store Day how it's gone from this small thing that happened 5 years ago or whatever to this huge holiday.
We'll talk about it for people who don't know about it. Talk about what it is.
Record Store Day is an annual day that happens on the third Saturday of every April. And it's a thing where these people got together and worked with a lot of record labels to issue limited edition pieces, exclusive pieces that you could only buy at an independent retailer. And 95% of those things are on vinyl. So it's not only are they raising awareness to independent retailers, but they're raising awareness to the format as well. And so over the last, this will be, I think, the fifth one, we've seen something where when we first opened, we had maybe 100 people throughout the day come and celebrate, to last year, a 3-hour line to get in the store from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Wow.
So it's wild that, this awareness has happened and people are excited about it. And, the key is that they don't make enough product to go around everywhere. They keep it extremely limited, so things are highly sought after.
Which makes people want it more, because humans
exciting.
want what they can't
So let's talk
have.
about that. So are the labels, are they being forced to redo vinyl? Or they
No, I don't think so. You participate in how you want to participate. And
You can't force the labels to do anything.
No, but I
That's
mean, my
true.
point is the resurgence of this, and the Record Store Day, and the awareness and the write-ups makes labels realize, oh wait, maybe we abandoned this format too quickly in a way.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it's the
definitely
managers
done
that are more on the ball. With
Yeah,
that.
the labels are starting to come around to it. The independent labels are really responsible for this vinyl resurgence.
Right.
The major labels, it's going to take them some time, and they, it's numbers to them, and I don't think that the numbers are really, they're not convinced yet, and they need to be convinced, and these things are starting to convince them. But it's the independent labels, when they started packaging like MP3 downloads and those things with records 7 or 8 years ago,
Right.
it was like, whoa, for $15, not only can I get the record, I can get the MP3 downloads, and that started the whole thing. So really on Record Store Day, you see that independent labels really go for it. And the major labels here and there, they do some pretty cool stuff. I mean, they have the catalog, so they can really access some deep stuff.
How did you and Jason meet?
Actually,
We don't want to talk about that.
I think it was probably in passing throughout the years, and it wasn't until recently that I actually, when we kind of met face to face. It's been more the use of email or email.
And the love of vinyl.
And the love of vinyl. I mean, we were talking about some of the collections and all that. Oh, talk about also across the street at the local tavern, you actually do a little thing over there.
Yeah,
a little thing.
A little thing. We started many years ago this thing called Record Club in our homes, where every month someone would host this thing where we would all come together and play each other music. And it became this community night where we'd just introduce each other, and the host would make hors d'oeuvres, and we'd have beers and wine and whatnot. And yeah, it was awesome. It's cool. It's cool. And it's, again, it brings it back into this thing where it's this physical talking about music and hipping each other in music. And you get to know your friends better, which is fun. So the bar across the street, El Prado, they asked us, hey, Tuesday nights are a slow night for us. Do you guys have an idea that you might want to bring and do something? And I said,
Club.
I've got this idea. We'll do this thing called Record Club. So what we do is we bring a sign-up sheet to the bar, and 8 people can sign up, and they bring a record, and we play a whole side of that record, and we tweet why they brought their record and what record they're playing.
What's the Twitter? Because I want people to
Or
know.
at Origami Vinyl.
Okay, at Origami Vinyl.
And for their participation, we buy them a beer or a glass of wine.
Nice.
So every week
How
we have
cool is
8
that?
people come in, and then me and Sean, who run it, we bring in a record. And so you get to hear 10 sides of
All
records
genres?
all night. All
All
genres.
genres.
It's completely chaotic.
I'm doing Mitch Miller next time.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
God, are you kidding?
Can we do some Ray
Sing along
Connor?
with
We
Mitch
gotta
Miller.
do some
Ray
Ray
Connor?
Connor if you can't do Mitch without Ray.
But it's
Okay.
just the most fun night. It's a really small space. Only 60
I like
people
it.
can fit in there.
Wow.
And it just
I'm
brings...
signing up.
It gets us out of the world of commerce and gets us
Right.
into the world of community. And it allows us to hang out with our customers and become friends. And it's great because relationships have come out of it.
It's
Friendships have come out of it.
old-fashioned.
It's
It's like
awesome.
But it's not. It is old-fashioned. But what's interesting
good.
about
That's
it
what-
is that there's a whole generation of kids, and we were talking about this earlier, that are music lovers, that have access to all this catalog through the internet and are discovering stuff for the first time.
Yeah.
And they want to know more, and they want to be involved, and they have this kind of different mind frame that even a generation did, 10, 15 years ago.
Right. It's true. It's true. And, the internet is great for if you want to Wikipedia something real fast or find things out. But there's nothing like a stranger coming to you and telling you, like, that has just played a record, hey, like, what is this?
Yeah, turning you on to music
Turn you on to that.
that's what it's all about.
It's really when you can like fan out. you
Wow.
know?
Well, thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah,
It's
well,
great.
we will. I will post on thecomet.com information about Record Club, and
Yes.
I'll also post your Twitter feed so people know, and so they know which records are coming up. And thank you so much for coming
thanks.
on. High fives all around. Next up, we have Dave Porter, the composer from the hit TV show Breaking Bad. So first, check out this clip of the show.
This show is crazy.
Show's crazy. Great.
Down here!
Walt, what did that phone call mean?
Where is it? Where's the rest? The money, Skylar. Where is the rest? Skylar, where is the money?
I gave it to Ted.
What? You did what?
Walt, I had to. For us, for the family. I swear. Walt.
You gave our money to Pennick.
Walt, please, please just hear me out, please.
Hi, you've reached the White family. Please leave a message.
Skylar? It's happening again. DEA called. They got some tip from an informant that the cartel, they want to kill Hank. Oh, God. They're sending agents to our house right now to guard us. Oh, God. When is this going to end? Marie, I'm here. I'm here. Tell me exactly what happened.
Woo! Wow.
That show is crazy.
That
man.
show, welcome to the Weekly Comment.
Thanks
We're
so much for having me.
happy to have you
Great
on.
to be here.
This show is just
I know. He's an amazing actor. And so tell us about, first of all, how'd you get involved in the show?
I got involved, thankfully, very early on with the pilot.
Oh,
I
good.
had two good friends who were already involved in the show. Tom Villano, who's a music editor, and Thomas Golubich, who would later
Yes.
be hired as the music supervisor
Yes.
for the show. And they both had access early to the pilot, and both called me separately on the same day and said, "You have to see this thing." They knew it was going to be right up my alley.
It's funny. Thomas and I went to Ireland a couple months ago for a seminar.
Oh, yeah.
And he showed a clip from where the chemical plant was, where they blew up the chemical plant
Yes.
and they buried the bodies. And,
Yes.
and it's just incredible what you guys have put together. With the combination of you and his supervision. It's really it's amazing why these cable shows obviously are so amazing a lot of times.
Thank you so much. I mean, I have to say that it's a luxury to be able to come in and work with so many great people. Obviously, the acting is amazing, the writing is amazing, and the look and feel of the show is all so top notch that for me it allows me a creative freedom to really just concentrate on what music does best.
What's interesting, and it's episodic, so it
Yes.
means the crunch is just crazy. I mean, tell us a little bit about your schedule and like how you do it, because the schedule is crazy.
It is. It can be really crazy. Basically, we're turning around shows as fast as they air.
Wow.
So I get a show, say, on a Friday, and we'll meet about it on a Saturday. I'll write music for 3 or 4 days, send what I've done to Vince Gilligan, our executive producer and creator of the show. And then he'll give me notes. I'll have one day to address any changes he wants to see, and then we're on to the next one.
So you don't sleep ever?
Rarely.
Not during the season.
Not
It's
when
like,
we're in the
it's
season.
like baseball players. You sleep in the off season.
Exactly.
So how did you guys kind of develop the sound? I mean, there's a very distinct sound to
There is.
the
I
show.
hope there is. Really, early on, we talked a lot about doing something that was out of the ordinary. We were really trying to obviously the show is so special and the elements of it are so unique that I didn't want to do a sort of traditional television score with orchestral instruments, for example. I wanted to try to really, if I could, push the boundaries of what we're doing on TV and think of it more filmically, even though it is episodic and it goes on and on. In terms of you know, a consistent thing, but that's a great thing too. You have the ability to keep developing the music over such a long period of time, whereas in the film you have 90 minutes or 2 hours. So I chose to, and part of the, obviously if you've seen the show, you know that the show is central to the show is Walter White's very gradual but very inevitable devolution into the horrible person
Good
that he
name,
becomes.
Devolution.
Devolution. We got that band. It's a band
I
name.
like that. We use
Devolution.
that.
And I wanted to hint at that from the very beginning, because that is the genesis, and it's the trademark or the hallmark of the show as it goes forward. So I view my goal creatively is to be as sort of unsettling and unnerving and unexpected as I can be.
Which that scene was fantastic because he obviously goes from total insanity to laughing, and the music you use. Talk about that. What you got for that heartbeat sound? The hell.
Yeah, so it's a combination of two things. It's a modular analog synthesizer with a very low thud, and then a snippet of guitar feedback, which I've also processed and dropped to be really low, so it has that kind of very uncomfortable.
So will Mr. Gilligan and you talk about that, or will you just present that and he'll go love it or modify? How does the process work with him, for example?
Yeah, we don't talk musically per se, but we certainly do talk about what music in a scene is trying to achieve and what he hopes that my creation or my end result of what I'm doing can add or augment a scene. And then, yeah, I, to his great credit, have pretty much free reign to do what I want to do, and then obviously I present it to him, and it works or it doesn't work. But we've gotten along very well, and I love working with him.
And you also, I mean, you've done so much in your career, and you also do features. And you mentioned that you have a film that's going to be at Tribeca.
Yeah, just announced yesterday, I believe. Really excited about a feature documentary I'm working on called Burn, which is about Detroit, the city of Detroit. It's an urban decay story. Dark, but also hopeful, seen through the eyes of its firefighters.
Oh, wow.
And I actually didn't know much about Detroit before I started working on this, but it is literally burning itself up from the inside out. It's the population has, I think, halved.
Wow.
Right.
Over the past
Suburban
20
Flight,
years.
classic,
yeah, and
classic case.
it's exactly.
Who
So
stars in
very
that film?
fascinating story. It's a documentary.
Okay.
So the firefighters star in it.
Wow, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
What other projects are you working on that you can, not that you have time with Breaking Bad, but...
Well, we are ramping up for our 5th season, which will be our last season of Breaking Bad. I'm not sure whether it's going to air we have 16 episodes to go. I don't know whether it's going to air 8 this summer and 8
Breaking
next,
Bad can end?
or 16.
No, I'm just trying to think of the way they take him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Right?
we
That's
all
gonna
want to
be-
know.
that's gonna be
I want to
interesting.
know just as well as you.
Well, you'll know first, and we'll be calling you.
Please.
Yeah, that's one of those shows I've seen a number of them, but not enough. And that's like you try to save those up and go get the DVD and just rock through them.
Yeah, I highly recommend.
Yeah, it's
just,
one of the best shows on TV in the last 5-6 years.
Devote a few days to it and,
Yeah.
and really start at the beginning.
And you've also, I know you don't have time to do them anymore, but I know
Yep.
you've also done some remixes with some of my favorite artists, like Scissor Sisters, India.Arie, Marilyn
I
Manson.
started my career in New York actually as an engineer.
Wow.
And that's how I sort of worked my way into the studio world as a young guy. Started in Philip Glass's studio.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God.
While he was scoring films too.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
what an experience that
actually,
must have
yeah,
been.
I worked, this is quite some time ago, but we worked on a fascinating project that he did with the French film, the original French film La Belle et la Bête,
Oh, wow.
which he took all the audio out of and rescored from first scene to last, and scored all the dialogue as opera. So it was all
So they
sung.
stripped everything.
Yeah, and so you can watch the film with his score and no other sound, and
An
the
operatic dialogue.
Exactly.
Wow.
It was
stuff.
quite an undertaking, but
It's a
I
good-
learned
you
so
had a
much
good, interesting
being around
career.
all that stuff.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for
Appreciate
coming
you coming
on.
in.
Oh, my
and
great pleasure.
we will have you back, and we will be watching. And it was a complete pleasure.
Thank you.
And now, everybody, Avi Buffalo, back with another song. Over to you, Avi.
The great escape we never got to make. Candlelight days, driving home late from Pasadena. Asked if I was ready to say I loved you then. Said I suppose I am. Think I did, but knew it wasn't right. No, and I won't be around no more. 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 A ghost with taste still ain't nothing more than a piece of me before, leftover pain and scorn. So afraid I stayed up all night, made sure I was high, kissed you in the morning right beside her. And I won't be around no more. I won't be around no more. I won't be around no more. asked if I was ready to say I loved you then. Said I suppose I am. Think I did, but knew it wasn't right. No.
Avi Buffalo.
Bravo!
All right, well,
Wait.
Avi is going to come over and chat.
Avi's going to come over and talk to us. And while he's walking over, we want to give a couple shout outs to the studio
We got some
audience.
people in the audience today.
John
Got some big
Anderson
ladies and
is
gentlemen,
in
John
the
Anderson.
house. And I'm saying this out loud because I want to get him on the show. He is music supervisor, mastermind of Honey Pot, and of course, Olay Music Publishing. So, John, you're now officially going to be on the Weekly Comment. No Way Out, everybody knows.
And all the way from Orange County, Emblem 3, a couple members from Emblem 3 here. We'll have them on the show soon. Building up
in
the
the
next
house.
level. But right now, back to our man Avi Buffalo sitting with us. Thanks for coming in.
Hey,
Thanks for having me.
congratulations.
All the way from LB?
All from LBC.
Nice.
LBC.
You and
Too
Snoop,
far
huh?
down. What's that?
You and Snoop.
Yeah, and War, I guess, also is from Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of, Long Beach is fun. Lots of people there.
And
From
is there like a live music scene there?
Somewhat. It's kind of it's getting better. I mean, there's the Prospector, there's the KCRW, there's D Piazzas, which is kind of the only all ages place to play, and then there's a speakeasy that's been kind of running recently the past 6 months, and it's had some shows. It's not as bustling or active as Los Angeles, but it's.
But did you start there, cutting chops and playing those little places?
Yeah, sort of. Where I really cut my chops was actually in Huntington Beach at this place called Martini Blues, which is now called Octane Alley. It got taken over, but that was fun. And I played with a bunch of older blues dudes when I was like 14.
Wow.
But yeah.
How
Long
old are
Beach
you
was
now, if
pretty
you don't
fun.
mind me asking?
21.
Because you still look kind of 15 to me.
Yeah. Well. I
So
look
where
more
are you
15
at?
when I
Like,
shave.
if the audience wants to buy your music, like where are you at in your
well-
record and what's going on?
Well, we put out one record on Sub Pop from Seattle, and that's out on iTunes and on their website and probably different places where you can buy music. And I just over this past year or so and a half or whatever, I wrote songs for a second record. So now we're in the process of recording that one, which is super exciting because I know a lot more than I did then about recording and what I want to get out of a recording. So
where are you guys recording?
it's kind of a mix between our homes, basically, in the living room and bedroom recordings, because you can do more with, it's easier to have a pro sounding rig than it used to be, so that's good, taking advantage of that. And then looking around at different studios and home studios / real studio combinations to record bigger live things. And
Your songs are really haunting, just both
Thanks.
musically and lyrically. When you sit down to write a song like the ones you played, like what's your creative process? Does the melody come first, the lyrics, or do they kind of come together?
It usually comes together. Sometimes I've never really written a song with lyrics first or with words first. Sometimes I've wanted to, but it never really works out. Sometimes if they don't come together, it's the chords first, and then I'll make a melody off of that. But other stuff just kind of improvises.
And you have also a very interesting vocal style. Is there any, people that you've looked to before that you're big fans of musically, that are influences that in your vocal style?
Yeah, there's lots. I mean, I think I really I wanted to just sing more quietly.
Like
when
there's
I
a little,
was-
I felt a little tiny Neil Young in there and some of his
I
quiet.
did.
I
I
love
felt
Neil.
some
Some of
Neil
his
Young, a
quieter
little bit
stuff,
of like
'cause I'm a
Bright
huge
Eyes
fan.
too. Like for some reason, Bright Eyes came up for me.
Neil Young is great. I had a brief period of Bright Eyes listening when I was in high school, and then, but yeah, that stuff's good. I love Neil Young. My first kind of springboard into other music was Wilco when I was in
Right.
7th and 8th grade, and then from that I got into people like Jim O'Rourke, which was really fun because he had recorded or been played and produced some of their stuff, like Yankee Doodle Foxtrot and A Ghost Is Born. So I got really into Jim O'Rourke's style of both playing guitar and singing and I don't know, kind of stuff like that. Although I don't think I emulate that guy's vocals as much, but I don't know, it's a mix of all sorts of stuff.
That's what it always is, right? It's
Yeah.
a question of finding different pieces that you like and being yourself.
Right,
Well,
yeah.
we're excited. We will let everyone know when the next record is ready to come out. You'll tell us. We'll tell the world.
Yeah, thanks.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us this week. Come on, you guys. I want all the guests out here. Jason, Neil, John Anderson, since you're going to be on the show. Everyone come out and say, hey, guys, everybody.
This is what we're doing now.
Tune in next week, the Weekly Comet. We got John Anderson in the house. South by Southwest report.
What's up, dog? Get in the game. Let's go.
Okay, see, it's happening here in the Weekly Comet studio. We will see you guys next week. Thank you.
Next week, we'll be here.
Woo!